Dire team ban.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We now have game 2 in the round 3 MSI Beatit African qualifier matchup between Ventus Pro versus Glaciem Esports. Chilling touch. Ventus Pro took a very convincing game, roughly closing out the game in 25 minutes, and you'd put that down to Glaciem Esports having two great pushers who are great for the early game, but they never got online. You had the Shadow Shaman who was under leveled, the Death Prophet was not enough on her own to solidify pushes, and Ventus Pro just got their Death Ball underway much sooner than Glaciem Esports could have hoped for. So now, with the slate being wiped clean, Glaciem Esports will hope to try and show Ventus Pro what they made for. And now we've got the bans and picks underway, and right off the bat, Ventus Pro going for the Death Prophet ban. Seems like they weren't too much of a fan of the Death Prophet coming out from Glaciem Esports, and whenever I see a Death Prophet ban, I can't disagree with it, although I'm surprised that you'd see it in the first phase. And then you look at Glaciem Esports. Glaciem Esports sticking to their guns, banning out the Lycan from the get-go. No one wants to deal with a Lycan push. No one wants to deal with a fighting Lycan because he's just problematic especially when he's on the Dire. And then you look at the Viper ban. Once again, it looks like Ventus Pro have something up their sleeves, but Brewmaster as well being banned out. Now, when you look at the bans going the way they've gone, we've got a Death Prophet and a Viper ban. That essentially means a lot more of the tier 1 heroes are still up. We've still got Skywrath, we still got Void, we still have Tidehunter, we still have Shadow Shaman, we still have Razor in the pool. So of those 5, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see at least 2 or 3, if not 4 of these 5 heroes. Ventus Pro going to think about their very first choice, and they pick up the Slock. Now that is bold. Picking up Slock in the very first phase essentially means you're announcing that you're gonna be very aggressive. And the problem when picking up a Slock, especially picking up a Slock in the first phase, is that if he doesn't get his momentum, he falls off very quickly, and you look over at Glaciem Esports responding with the Faceless Void, one of the 5 heroes I mentioned. Void is one of those heroes who's very versatile. Put him in the off lane, put him in the safe lane, and you can still get bang for buck coming out from the Faceless Void. And now he's coupled with the Razor, so you know Glaciem Esports is going to fight you. They're gonna fight you, and that Slock may just have a very bad time, because going aggressively against a lineup that has a Void and a Razor is gonna be a little bit intimidating, because once Razor gets his levels up, Slock may have a problem up against the Razor. Once Faceless Void gets his levels up, once he gets his farm up, Slock may become a bit of a non-factor going into the mid-game. But on the flip side, if Ventus Pro do get some momentum coming out on the Slock, they will certainly form another Death Ball, which seems to be their trademark in terms of how they play the game. And they pick up a Mirana. Now, picking up a Mirana, essentially they're leaving their draft quite open, because Mirana could be going on the off lane, she could be going solo mid, which is a position you barely see her go anymore, and she could be your safe lane farmer, and she could even be your support. Now I think they're leaving themselves a little open to what could happen. But the nice thing about the Mirana pickup is that they have the Moonlight Shadow, which is great for disengage up against your Chronosphere, up against Razor going in on you, and possibly another tempo controller that might be picked up by Glaciem Esports. Ventus Pro banning out the Invoker. Invoker is one of those heroes you don't want to deal with, whether or not regardless of which Invoker you might be dealing with. And you look at Glaciem Esports. Glaciem Esports could be running any kind of Invoker if they had Invoker. They could have been running your Wex Invoker, but because there's a Void, they would have probably ran the Quas Exort, because Sunstrike into Chronosphere, and possibly they might even pick up a Skywrath if it doesn't get banned out. Then you look at the Sand King ban. Sand King, Ventus Pro are essentially more known for their Sand King, but them banning it out essentially means they recognize the fact that Glaciem Esports already has a great team fight. I mean, you wouldn't want the epicenter coupled with all the Eye of the Storm damage coming out from Razor, the Plasma Field. You've got the Chronosphere on top of that. That's one hero you don't want to deal with. Glaciem Esports banning out Doom. I'm surprised Doom made it to the second phase. But yeah, they ban out the Doom, they ban out the Shadow Demon. They ban out the Shadow Demon because they see the Mirana, but I think they could have been better off because they saw the Bane being picked up in the previous game. So they would have been better off had they banned the Bane, because Shadow Demon may work well with Mirana, but the thing is, you look at his synergy with the rest of the lineup that may come out from Ventus Pro. And he's not necessarily working the best with the Slug. I mean, the Bane works better with Slug and Mirana as opposed to the Shadow Demon. So I think they should have banned out the Bane instead, especially because they saw him in the previous game. But onto the second picking phase, we've got Bane being picked up from Ventus Pro, and the Bane pickup, obviously very strong support, obviously there for the sake of being coupled up with the Mirana, but nonetheless supports. Obviously offers a lot of control. He offers the Nightmare, he offers the Fiend's Grip, and now with this specific try lineup as it stands at the moment, they've got so much pick-off potential. Yes, Glaciem Esports has the stronger team fight because you've seen them now picking up the Ancient Apparition and the Earthshaker. That means Faceless Void, Chronosphere. You've got the Eye of the Storm coming out from Razor. You've got, and obviously he's going to be static linking, sapping damage from one of your damage dealers over on Ventus Pro. And then you've got Ancient Apparition and Earthshaker. Now those are two very strong supports, but you look at Earthshaker. I think if they want, Earthshaker's very strong, but he's gonna be very strong in terms of controlling the lane, because obviously if they don't get aggressive with the Earthshaker and Ancient Apparition combo, then they might never get the opportunity to drop your Chaos Dunks, the Echo Slams. And Ventus Pro turning a page into the patch books right now, into the Dota patch books right now. They're picking up the Magnus. Now that is bold. That is bold. They're going old school right now. We've got Slock, Mirana, Bane, Magnus. Now Magnus is the teamfight powerhouse. You know he's a teamfight powerhouse. He obviously offers the RP. But the big thing about their lineup is not strong. They don't have a stronger team fight because just looking at the arsenal coming out from Glaciem Esports. But once again, the Magnus is still good at helping out with pickoffs. I think that's the game plan coming out from Ventus Pro, and obviously the game plan coming out from Glaciem Esports is going to be team fight all the way. So you've got two very interesting drafting paths being picked out here. Ventus Pro going for the pick off, having access obviously to the team fight, but to a lesser extent. Glaciem Esports on the flip side having all the team fight and having some access as well to a lesser extent to the pick offs. And now we get the PA ban coming out from Glaciem Esports. I'm not entirely sure Ventus Pro would have wanted the PA. Looking at their lineup right now, okay, fair enough, we don't know if the Mirana is a support or a core, but looking at their lineup, looking at that, we might even get it's definitely a support. But yeah, now we get Shadow Fiend, we get Tinker coming out from Glaciem Esports. Okay, now they have decent split push. And if Razor goes for the Axe build, they will have decent push and decent split push. But then Ventus Pro picking up the Shadow Fiend, now the team fight is strong. The question is, where is the Shadow Fiend being laned? Is this a safe lane Shadow Fiend? If this is a safe lane Shadow Fiend, he's going to be coupled up with the Mirana, the Bane. So obviously his levels may not be as instrumental as he would be if he's going on the solo mid lane. But the question is, where are the Ventus Pro lanes? Because I think they're quite open in terms of how they can lane this. And then you look over at the Tinker pickup. The Tinker pickup that's an interesting pickup. it could work for them. I mean, the only access to push they really had was the Razor, and that's only when the Razor really gets his eggs built up. But with the Tinker, they're gonna be obnoxious in terms of how they're pushing the lane. And anyway, before we get underway, let me introduce the teams over on the Radiant on Glaciem Esports Chilling Touch. We've got White Wookie playing up the solo mid Tinker. We've got Butrox over on the off lane Faceless Void. Now this is a laning choice I agree with wholeheartedly. And then over on the safe lane we've got Gecko playing up your farming Razor. We've got Right Click Pony playing up the Earthshaker, and we've got Bang playing up the Ancient Apparition. You go over on the Dire side, over on Ventus Pro, we've got Flaming Sheep playing up the Bane. We've got Night Wraith over on the Slark. We've got Ventus Zeke over on the support Mirana. And then you go over on the mid lane, we've got Kronos over on the Shadow Fiend, and we have ourselves an offlane Grime over on the Magnus. Now, I mentioned they're going way back into the patch books. I haven't seen Magnus being played in the off lane for a long while. It should be interesting to see how he fares up against the Void, but he shouldn't have too much of a problem since he's being put up on the safe lane as a solo. Now Ventus going for the aggressive tri lane. Looks like we may have a possible, if they get the arrow off, and they got the arrow off. White Wookie is definitely gonna lose some life points. There goes the Nightmare onto White Wookie. White Wookie may just be the first blood. There goes the last hit over onto Bane, and now we have our very farm support. Kronos dropping very low though after tanking some hits coming out from the tanking some hits coming out from the tower. But that's first blood going the way of Ventus Pro, and now White Wookie's playing on the back foot now. He's playing on the back foot. I guess the upside of that is that Kronos didn't get the kill. He didn't get that many levels from that, and the arrow flying, but it essentially misses. This is going to be an interesting matchup because White Wookie should be able to get some level of farm even up against the Shadow, even up against the Razors, because the moment he gets his March of the Machines up, he's gonna have decent laning potential. I mean, you look at him, he's actually beating out Kronos over on the Shadow Fiend. He's sitting at 6 for 2 on the CS board. The Razor also sitting top of the board. Gecko sitting top of the board on his Razor, sitting at 8 for 2. We've got a Nightmare going out onto Gecko. The arrow being disjointed by Bang. There goes your Plasma Field. There goes the Cold Feet over onto Night Wraith. And time to disengage. And they don't have... Oh, we've got a Fissure. Block coming out for Ventus. Ventus will lose his life. And Night Wraith may just lose his life. Ventus dropping low. The arrow missing. Bang will probably lose his life to Night Wraith. There goes the Plasma Field. There goes the pounce catching Bang. Night Wraith falls before Bangs take a spill. And that's a great rotation coming out from Right Click Pony as he came back into the lane. He made sure that the Bane was isolated. The Bane lost his life very quickly, and that disjointed the initiation coming out from Ventus Pro. Well played coming out from Glaciem Esports on that particular engagement. And now their lanes are looking pretty solid, because you look at the Tinker's doing pretty well on his lane. He's actually beating out Kronos by a huge margin, and then on top of that, their safe lane is actually going a lot better than their previous game. And now you look at the offlane Void. He's actually losing out to Grime over on the Magnus. I would put that down to the fact that Grime obviously has his Shockwave. He has the Empower to obviously get better out of his CS board. But Butrox won't be caring that much about getting last hits. The objective for him is to get his levels, and once he gets his Chronosphere, he's gonna move around the map, make sure that they keep pressure onto Ventus Pro. If they can keep the pressure onto Ventus Pro, then Ventus Pro might have a little trouble going into the mid game, going to the later stage of the early game. And Kronos needs to also make sure that he keeps the pressure on White Wiki needs to make sure he keeps the pressure onto Kronos, because Kronos is on a Shadow Fiend, which means Flash Farm is a real threat. And it looks like we've got a smoke movement coming out. Flaming Sheep throws out the Nightmare on White Wiki. We've got TP support coming in. There goes the raise. The arrow misses. Kronos is in a world of hurt. There goes the Cold Feet. Cold Feet, he actually out of range, but the Martial Machine's dealing so much damage onto Kronos, and that's a failed rotation coming out from Ventus Pro, and that was a great TP support coming. That was great TP support coming out from Bank. Looks like we've got the arrow. The arrow might catch Wookie. Just skates, but we've got Shadow Rays going out onto White Wookie. White Wookie may be in a world of trouble right now. There goes a Rays, catches him. A few right clicks may secure his death. Oh, he gets up by the skin of his teeth. Well played, putting out the heat-seeking missiles. And in the meantime, they're rotating. They've got the aggressive tri-lane, and they're not getting that much out of it. So that's well played coming out from Glaciem Esports, punishing the fact that Ventus actually have themselves what is an aggressive tri-lane. But the thing is, their defensive tri-lane is quite strong in terms of what it can offer into the lane. So there's kill potential even coming out from them. And Earthshaker in a lane is terrifying, because you go on aggression in the wrong manner, and you got the fissure possibly isolating one of your heroes. So coming out, Glaciem Esports playing the early game a little better than what Ventus Pro was expecting. But goodness, Grime is getting so much out of this offlane. He's actually ahead of the CS board. So he's well underway onto getting his blink. He's already got his arcane. We're 5 minutes in. And he's already on his arcanes. It appears. It looks like they want to go for the kill over on the Radiant safe lane. There goes the arrow. Only catches a creep. Will they go for a kill? There goes a Cold Feet onto Night Wraith, but he's just too fast for that to even matter. Tinker's getting farm. I think it's a little problematic that the Shadow Fiend's caught up, because once Shadow Fiend moves into the jungle, I mean, he's not a Radiant Shadow Fiend, so it's not as problematic. But once he moves into the jungle, then he's going to be flash farming those waves very efficiently. Zeke trying to secure the regeneration rune for Kronos. Oh, did Right Click Pony scout that out? Right Click Pony's in no man's land over there, but Night Wraith and Flaming Sheep not fast enough. Oh, and we actually lost the Magnus over on the top lane to the Void, and it's down to him getting the Chronosphere.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Are they going to engage? If Right Click Pony gets a fissure onto this may be problematic for these guys. Ooh, looks like Grimes looking to make his first RP appearance. Can he make it count? Right Click Pony playing it correctly, getting out of vision, making sure that if need be, his fissure's at the ready. And now we've got an aggressive ward being placed out, and now he gets potted out. There goes the arrow, catching no one, but the pounce going. There goes the fissure. Night Wraith may be in trouble. There goes we've got ourselves the RP. The first RP catching two. They lose the Razor. Bang falls to Grime. It's a double kill going Grime's way, and they're looking to make it 3 as they look for catching Right Click Pony. Right Click Pony, the fissure, the arrow catches them as well, and that's a 3-for-0 engagement going the way of Ventus Pro. And White Wookie's in a world of trouble as he gets caught by a Shadow Rays going the way of the Shadow Fiend. So that's 4 kills in quick succession going out Ventus Pro's way. And if you're losing the early game against a lineup that's brilliant at coordinating their pick-off potential, then you've got a problem, because you need to make sure that Night Wraith doesn't get momentum onto his Slark. And now that he's got some momentum, you look at he's got some decent momentum. I mean, he's in terms of farm, he's still he's not relatively farmed compared to the other cores. Kronos is about to secure himself he's about to get himself a tower. We've got the Cold Feet going out. We've got a Shadow Rays catching catching the ancient apparition. There goes a fissure. We got March of the Machines. Kronos might lose his life. Is there enough mana for oh my goodness, the shadow raises and the arrow catches White Wookie, and that's 2 kills going the way of Ventus Pro. Ventus Pro switching up the early game on its head. I mean, Glaciem Esports were making inroads in the game. They had a sizable. Looks like we've got the Nightmare and the arrow connecting. We've got a Dark Pact going out. Right click pony's gonna lose his life to the Bane. And now it's gonna be a game of pickoff. And it looks like we've got a Chronosphere being committed. Grime will probably, he's going toe to toe. He's going toe to toe with the Void, and he actually gets the kill over onto Butrox. And now it's becoming a little bit problematic. It's becoming a little bit devastating considering how the lanes are going. Shadow Fiend on top of the net worth chart. Magnus sitting second. We've got the plasma field going out. Kronos may just dive this. Goodness. Now the pickoff, as I mentioned going into the draft, the pickoff potential coming out from Ventus Pro is so strong. It's actually quite scary. And if they keep getting pickoffs, it's gonna get to a point where it's hard for them to counterattack. There goes the arrow catching Gecko. A few right clicks, a few raises, and just like that, it's a double kill going the way of Kronos, and they might actually get the tower. That's 2 more kills going the way of Ventus Pro. And now the early game. They've obviously won the early game. Now they're looking to make sure they can secure some objectives, make sure that they keep the pressure, they keep the gas, they keep the foot on the pedal, they keep the foot on the gas. Make sure that these guys don't have a chance to get momentum on the Void. Make sure they don't get the momentum they need on the Tinker. They don't get the momentum they need on the Razor. So it looks like we've got Butrox being pulled back, and just like that, he falls to the combo of Zeke and Grime on the Mirana and the Magnus. Goodness, Glaciem Esports is playing this way too aggressively. They know that the pickoff is strong. This is Ventus Pro's lineup is centered around pickoffs. I mean, yes, they have decent team fight, but the pickoff potential is too strong for you to be playing that aggressively, and top tower may just fall. Looks like we've got an arrow connecting on Gecko. Gecko may be in trouble. Oh, there goes the plasma field, but Gecko's going to lose his life. No doubt. The skewer missing, but the leap going in. There goes the Chronosphere. The turnaround. He catches 2. He gets the first kill onto the Miranda. Grime may be in a world of trouble. And we've got the Shockwave missing. And that's a great turnaround kill going the way of Glaciem Esports, but Magnus securing the kill. Time lock over onto Grime. Grime will probably lose his life for going for the kill, and it's a 2-for-1 engagement going the way of Glaciem Esports. Yes, they lost the Razor, but they need to make sure they can hold this game. If they can hold the game, then they have a shot. But they're losing territory left, right, and center. You look at the tier 2 bottom. The tier 2 bottom is almost down. You look at the way Nightwraith is playing this game. He's not willing to let up on his aggression. And you look at the levels. Bang is still level 4 on his ancient apparition. We're essentially 12 minutes into the game and he's only level 4. That's going to be problematic. That's going to be very problematic. I mean, you look at the supports coming out from Ventus Pro. They already have their ultimates. They're sitting at level 6. You look at the Bane coming out. He just secured himself a Blink Dagger. The pickoff was strong, but now the pickoff is scary. Very scary. Bang may just get caught. If the Fiend's Grip, there goes the Fiend's Grip over onto Bang. Bang's gonna lose his life. A Shadow Raise goes out and Shadow Fiend gets the kill. And now, how do you stop this? We've got a Moonlight Shadow proccing the Moonlight Shadow. What is the Moonlight Shadow trying to get? Looks like they want to go onto Butrox, but Butrox is almost getting his getting back the cooldown on his Chronosphere. But yeah, Ventus Pro taking this game in Like they're essentially calculating the way they need to play this game, and they're playing it exactly the way they need to play. We've got a homing missile going on. There goes the ice vortex. There goes the chronosphere, catching two. But the nightmare, the defensive nightmare, catching Kronos. There goes a cold feed onto Kronos. Kronos may lose his life. Butrox not able to secure a kill after using the chronosphere, and just like that, the disengage is real coming out from Ventus Pro, and they're out. They got what they needed to. They got the tier 2, and now they're out. It's looking pretty dicey. It's looking pretty dicey because Ventus Esports right now, I mean Ventus Pro, their lineup right now, once it's ahead, it's very hard for them to actually lose their lead. You look at the goal graph. The goal graph is sitting at almost 12k in their favor. The XP graph just above 5k. But this game right now, I mentioned this going early into the game. They needed to get momentum. Ooh, Grime looking like he's in a world of trouble, but he just TBs out. When you pick a slot, you need to be very aggressive, and that is the exact game that Ventus Pro has been playing. They've been playing a very aggressive game. They can't really defend this. Only Eye of the Storm is out. Only Eye of the Storm is out. And here's another problem. You look at the Tinker. The Tinker doesn't have rearm just yet. So it essentially means he doesn't have rearm. He doesn't have his TP boots. So he can't split push right now. Ooh, we've got a plasma field going out. There goes the Fiend's Grip onto the Razor. And the few Shadow Razors catching him out. Butrox trying to go man with the Kronos, but he loses his life as well. There goes a Dark Pact. White Wookiees in a world of trouble. Looks like we've got a defensive nightmare going out into Flame Sheep. Looks like right click looking to right click pony. There goes the Echo Slam. He gets a kill onto the Bane, but he still feeds his life over to Kronos on the Shadow Fiend. It's almost over, guys. It's almost over. This game is way too insurmountable in terms of the lead that Ventus Pro has. I mean, you look at the net worth chart. The Shadow Fiend has over double that of the Razor. His net worth is over double that of the Razor. We've got a plasma field going out. Ooh, does he want to be there? Does he want to be there? But yeah, their net worth is atrocious right now. They're losing territory left, right, and center. They're getting picked off left, right, and center. We've got the Moonlight Shadow going out. It looks like they're looking to move in aggressively. And even if they don't move in aggressively, they could try and put pressure on the towers. Ooh. But it looks like the Spidey sense coming out from Glaciem Esports, and they recognize the fact that they're missing. It must mean that there's a gank on the way, especially with a Marana in the game. In the meantime, Razor's trying to get up his farm, but goodness, it's hard. He's living a hard life right now. I mean, as I mentioned, the Razor already has double his net worth. And you look at the supports over on Ventus Pro, they're quite farmed. I mean, you look at it when a Bane has sub 20 minutes in, when a Bane has arrow gonna catch White Wookiee, catches White Wookiee, and that's a full 5-second arrow. Do they commit? No, they don't commit. But yeah, you look at the fact that they're losing territory. Razor doesn't have farm. Tinker doesn't have farm. He literally only just got his TP boots, and this is 17 minutes into the game, and he still doesn't have a level in rearm. So he's not going to be moving. He's not going to be moving around the map the way he hopes to. And I just missed a kill over onto the Ancient Apparition, going the way of Kronos on the Shadow Fiend. It's looking real bad for Glaciem Esports right now. There's not much they can do until at the very least they get some items up onto Razor. I mean, the mix not gonna cut it. We've got a Chronosphere catching Kronos. Night Wraith going out of the way just in time. There goes the Fissure catching our Flaming Sheep. There goes the Echo Slam. Echo Slam meaning nothing right now. There goes the Requiem destroying right click pony on the Earthshaker. We've got a mech charge being onto Gecko, But right now, they could probably take the tower. The tower is falling pretty low on the soul, on the level 2. We've got the Fiend's Grip going on onto White Wookie. White Wookie's gonna lose his life as Night Wraith goes onto him. There goes the Nightmare onto Gecko. We've got Chilling Touch being procced. Cold Feet catching Flaming Sheep. Gecko's looking in a world of trouble. Oh, the Shockwave misses. The jukes are real. We've got Night Wraith taking down Bang on the Ancient Apparition as well. And that's a 2-for-0 exchange. And right now they're bullying. They're bullying them right now. There's not much that Glaciem Esports can do. And they also got the tower on top of that. So once again, rinse repeat. They might even want to go. They might even go into the Roche pit, get themselves the Aegis. They're actually quite low though. If they stick around, they may be in a world of trouble. They shouldn't be sticking around. They should actually be going for the Roche pit or going to get some heals and actually making sure that they're safe. I mean, yes, they've got a really insurmountable lead right now. You look over at the gold graph. The gold graph is almost hitting the 20k mark. You look at the XP graph. The XP graph is inching toward the 14k mark. This game is Ventus. I wouldn't even say this game is Ventus Pro's game to lose. It's their game to throw. Oh, that blink right there. That blink right there was amazing. But yeah, you look at the you look at the way the game's progressing. It's literally Ventus. The only way Ventus Pro can really lose this is by making stupendous amounts of mistakes. And the way they've been playing this game, it doesn't look like they'll be making those types of mistakes. But Gecko nonetheless trying to get some farm. It looks like Razor's going for he's going for the blade mail, and he secures the blade mail. But the problem is in terms of levels, he's under-leveled in terms of what the course can give out. And it looks like we've got a Fiend's Grip going out into Gecko. Gecko's going to lose his life. A few right clicks going out from Kronos. There goes the Razors and a Brain Sap. And that's a very dead Razor. The pickoffs are strong. And the nice thing about the pickoff lineup, unfortunately, can allow you to put so much pressure onto a lineup that's based on team fight that they don't really get to the point where their strong team fight lineup even matters. You've got an Invis Rune going out the way of Grime. And it looks like they look to secure a pickoff and possibly translate that to a kill on the tower. Ooh, Butrox is in no man's land. But there's no Fiend's Grip available. Right click may lose his life. There goes the Nightmare onto right click Pony. The arrow going. Ooh, the arrow actually getting Bang on the backside as he was the one who destroyed it. We've got a 4-man Chronosphere. Grime may lose his life. Grime loses his life. Flaming Sheep loses his life. Zeke loses his life as well. And now the Ancient Apparition Ultimate going onto the Slock as well. He might lose his life. Oh no, he doesn't lose his life. But it's a 3-man kill going the way of Glaciem Esports, and that's the kind of momentum they need. It's not enough, but it's a step in the right direction. You look at those kills actually. It looks like none of them were killing sprees. But essentially, those kills went the way of the Tinker and the Razor, so that can only be a positive in their team. Looks like we've got some action going down. There goes the Mech procced. There goes the Moonlight Shadow. Cold Feet being going onto Flaming Sheep. He may just proc it. Arrow going out, not gonna catch anyone. Finally, we get the Realm coming out from White Wookie, and that was the kind of lapse of judgment that could cause Glaciem Esports to come back into the game. If Ventus Pro make mistakes to that effect, they will probably be punished by Glaciem Esports. But Glaciem Esports took that very well. The Fissures made sure that there was control going out onto 3 heroes. The Chronosphere caught 4, and there was nothing they could do. And now we've got ourselves a standoff. Now they should know that there's a ward. There. We've got a Halberd going out onto... Wait, what's up with the defensive Nightmare? Okay. Looks like we've got a halberd being committed onto being brought up by the Marana. Your support Marana has a halberd. The evasion, so try killing her and try dealing damage because I'm pretty sure they're probably thinking if we can halberd up the faceless void, he's not dealing any damage while he's got his Mask of Madness going, while he's got the Chronosphere going. So it's still, this game is still heavily a Ventus Pro game to lose, or throw rather, because they need to make a ton of mistakes before this game is even remotely open up for Glaciem Esports to take it. And now they commit to the Roche. Now they want to close out the game. Once they get the Roche, they will commit to a high ground push, and that could essentially, one push could essentially secure them the game. Ooh, Night Wraith may lose his life. Night Wraith falls to the Ice Blast. Should have known. In the great words of Childish Gambino, should have known. Should have known. But yeah, that's a nice kill going the way of the Ancient Apparition.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And now they still, even with only 4 of them, there's still enough damage coming out from the Shadow Fiend. I mean, he's dealing upwards of 200 damage per hit. Per hit. Looks like he might want to go into the AC. Oh, we've got the arrow catching Butrox. Butrox is gonna fall very fast to Kronos. We've got the Ancient Apparition falling. We've got Right Leg Pony falling as well. Chronosphere catching Kronos. No pun intended. Time locked by the Faceless Void. But he's gonna pop the Requiem. He pops the Requiem and he pops the Aegis. But in the backlines, they do lose Zeke on the Marana. Grime committing a one man RP, but it does secure him the kill, and that's ultra kill going the way of the Kronos on the Shadow Fiend. And just like that, he could take tier 3 and possibly a lane of possibly either the ranged Rex or the melee Rex. But he wants to be rather safe than sorry, so he's gonna wait up for the rest of his teammates to come back.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is
There's
under
not
attack.
much they can do now. There's not much they can do.
Dire's top
I
tower
mean, they
is
committed
under
4 heroes. 4 heroes to try and take down Kronos. And the only thing they essentially achieved was getting a kill out over onto the Marana and the Magnus, and going Ventus as well. I think it was a little over aggressive diving the tier 3 when they could have just slow sieged. Because I mean, there's no need for them to be going in that aggressively. They're so ahead that you look at the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend's almost level 20 right now. His farm is just atrociously scary. I mean, he's essentially got 16k net worth, and the closest next to him is his teammate on the Slock on 9k, almost edging towards 10k. This game is pretty much done for.
Dire's
Do they want to wait up for the next Roshan attempt? I mean, they could essentially go for high ground right now. I think they're strong enough to go for high ground. Ooh, looks like we've got Void may be in trouble. There goes the Chronosphere catching Kronos. Is there enough damage? Yes, it looks like there's enough damage, and they get the Ice Blast onto him, and just like that, Void gets a kill onto Kronos. But in the meantime, they want to go high ground. They want to secure themselves a tower. There goes, we've got the Void. We've got the oh, he almost committed that. There goes a Nightmare over onto Gecko. But now it's a standoff. Now it's a siege standoff right now. It's a siege standoff. I think the problem there is Ventus need to know. Shadow Fiend may be strong, but because he has a Manta right now, he doesn't have a Butterfly. He's still susceptible to ganks, especially if the Void's among the perpetrators. So they just need to make sure they play the safe game. I mean, there's no need for them to split up. they've got enough farm on their cores. They've got enough farm on their supports. They just need to be the 5-man death ball. If they're the 5-man death ball, they push high ground, they slow siege, or they force Glaciem Esports to commit to a fight on their terms. And if they commit to a fight, if Glaciem Esports commits to a fight on Ventus Pro's terms, then Ventus Pro will probably win out the fight because there's too much control, there's too much damage, and now it looks like they're poised to take the tier 3s.
Radiant's middle tower
They're still
is under
content
attack.
to split up. I don't know if that's the right choice. Pushing against Marshal the Machines is a little bit troubling. We've got a Chronosphere only catching Chronos. Flaming Sheeps actually walks into it, and they actually take down Chronos. And this is the point I was making. They need to secure to make sure he's alive. We've got a one-man RP, and just like that, we're losing bodies left, right, and center. Flaming Sheep falling. We've got Night Wraith. Night Wraith may just lose his life. We've got 3 kills going the way of Glaciem Esports. There goes the Moonlight Shadow being procced. But once again, valiant defense going out the way of Glaciem Esports. And this is the big thing. Trying to push against Marshal the Machines, Chronosphere, and the Earthshaker. This is why they should not be splitting up. I mean, you look at the Slock. The Slock was all the way, was over on this lane. There's no need for them to split up. They need to force Glaciem Esports to take the team fights on their terms. And to their credit, Glaciem Esports defended that very well. They noticed the fact that they recognized that these guys were a little bit split up. At least the Slock wasn't there, so that essentially meant their front line, because the Slock is essentially that right now for the lineup. That meant their front line wasn't there, and them being split up is essentially meaning the damage potential is a little less coming out for their lineup. So right now, you look at Gecko. Gecko's actually getting some decent farm. He now has his exit. You look over at Tinker went for the blink dagger. He's soon gonna have his Dagon if he's going for the glass cannon build. You look over at, and the thing is, Slock may fall over if this game keeps going. We've got a Chronosphere being committed onto Night Ray. So much damage going on. Is it gonna be enough? Flaming Sheep actually walks into it, but look, he's resigned to retreating because he realizes there's support coming out from Ventus Pro. But yeah, it's now getting to a point where they're finding it a little bit difficult to try and push high ground. And if they keep coming in, if they keep hitting this roadblock, this wall that is the fissure, that is the Chronosphere, that is the ice blast, then they have a problem. We've got Eye of the Storm, Plasma Field going out. Night Wraith may lose his life. Oh, looks like Bang will fall over on his Ancient Apparition. Chrono's procking the PKP. There goes a few. There goes your RP catching a few. There goes your Echo Slam. But it's a 4 kill going the way of Ventus Pro, and now they've got what they were looking for. They've got the kills they need, and now they wanna make sure they wanna get the prize. They wanna get the racks. They wanna get at the very least their tier 2. But March of the Machines is being a nightmare right now. And Grime is actually pretty low. If Grime gets caught, he's got a problem. Kronos is actually low as well. Looks like he's going for a Mantis now. And that's what they need for the push. Kronos dropping low as well. Zeke TPing out. Night Wraith. Sitting there with the Yasha, the Mask of Madness. I'm not sure the Mask of Madness was the ideal choice, but I guess it's one of those items you get when you're ahead, when you're absurdly ahead. But now look at the late game coming out from Glaciem Esports. And it's actually pretty decent if they can keep delaying the game. If they can keep delaying the game the way they are, because they've defended these racks for like 10 minutes now. If they can keep on doing that, then Ventus might find themselves in a position where they don't have enough to deal with the Eye of the Storm, enough to deal with the Void, who's going to have damage pretty soon. He's going for a Maelstrom, and he's actually even going for the Maelstrom, so the damage is coming out from him. Ooh, we've got the Moonlight Shadow. Gecko's in the... Gecko, you're in no man's land right now, man. If the arrow catches him... Ooh, the skewer actually took him away from the arrow. There goes the Eye of the Storm. Eye of the Storm dealing damage. He actually takes down the Magnus with him. So yeah, he found that he knew he was gonna lose his life, but now he takes a kill. He takes a kill before he goes down, and he actually got the kill on to Grime before Grime got the kill. So it's kind of worth it. I mean, there's still enough to secure. There's still enough. Oh, we've got a Chronosphere catching three, catching three. Zeke may lose his life. Oh, there goes the Fiend's Grip. There goes your Ice Blast, catching three. Kronos is in a world of trouble right now. He props the Requiem, right click, losing his life right now, and it's a 3-for-3 engagement right now. It's essentially a 3-for-3 with the 2 kills being secured earlier, going both ways of the teams with the Razor and the Magnus. And then you look at the 2 kills being secured right now, the Marana and the Slark over the Faceless Void and the Earthshaker. But now it's looking pretty dicey. I think Ventus right now need that Roche, and in a few seconds, roughly 30 odd seconds, we'll see Roche respawning. And this time I think Glaciem Esports will be thinking about contesting. Had this the first Roshan attempt by Ventus, they couldn't really contest because they had no damage, they had no real control coming out. But now their late game is looking pretty scary, man. It's looking pretty scary. Oh, looks like Tinker is going for. He's got an ultimate orb. He's going for this. He's going for straight up Scythe. That's going to be amazing because they, once again, more control is amazing. When if you can take either Grime out, you can take Kronos out of a fight there very early, then your fight is probably going your way. So right now, Glaciem Esports actually looking pretty poised to keep defending. If they keep defending, Ventus Pro is gonna lose out in terms of the efficiency going on the map, because they can't really afford to. They haven't been split up as they've been committing to the death ball. So if they keep having to go into this death ball while these guys keep defending, keep successfully defending, taking favorable exchanges in their way or even exchanges, then Ventus is actually losing out in those exchanges. But yeah, and I mean, yes, you look over at the towers that Ventus still has. That's tower gold. That's tower gold that could go the way of Glaciem Esports. But once again, the gold graph is looking pretty scary. But it's gonna, if the game gets delayed, the gold graph might become irrelevant. But once again, the gold graph sitting at 25k, almost 28k. We've also got the XP graph going at 25k. Chronosphere is up. Chronosphere is up. Ice Blast is up. So it looks like they're trying to. Whoa! The plays, the Blink Dagger plays coming out from Kronos, making sure that the Chronosphere whiffs, and now they might want to come back and the Eye of the Storm has also been committed, and in the meantime the top lane is being pushed out as well. So great play coming out from Kronos, blinking out just in time, making sure that Butrox actually commits to a Chronosphere that whiffs completely. Shout out to Admiral Hulk, who might be joining me in the next few casts at some point. Anyway, yeah, it's looking pretty dicey for Glaciem Esports. That's definitely not what they needed. But once again, I maintain the point. Soon enough, the Chronosphere is going to be back up in a few seconds, and we've still got Fissure, we've still got March of the Machines. Pushing into that is a bit problematic. We've got the Plasma Field going out. The arrow catches right click Pony, and it's a full on 5-second arrow. But once again, how do they actually secure racks in this push? And right now, Roche has actually respawned. So the ensuing team fight could actually secure the winning team, a Roche, the Aegis. Chronosphere catching Kronos. It just crashes Kronos, and there's got the defensive nightmare going on. We've got yourselves a 2-man RP. Gecko losing his life very soon. Grime does fall over on the Magnus. We've got a buyback coming out from Razor. There goes the homing missile. Could it secure a kill? Ooh, Zeke's falling very low. It's a 3-for-1, and they committed a buyback. But can they make more out of this? Can they make more out of this? Yes, they forced out a buyback. But you look at both teams, only one per team actually has the only one per team has themselves the buybacks, the Shadow Fiend and the Tinker coming up in their teams respectively. So once again, yes, they got the team fight, but that they haven't secured the racks yet. They need to get racks. It looks like melee racks is about to fall. There goes a plasma field. If they don't take melee racks, it's gonna heal up. And Nitrate takes out the melee racks. He's looking poised to take out the range racks as well. They're gonna be a static link. Oh, he procs the Shadow Dance just in time. And now we've got a laner racks against Glaciem Esports. There goes the Fissure. And now it's looking like it's looking like they got what they needed. And now we may be poised to get ourselves a Roshan fight. We've got a plasma field going out. Gecko being caught up by the Nightmare. It's a 3-man Chronosphere, but the Flaming Sheep wasn't caught, and there goes the Fiend's Grip, and now it's a 2-for-0 exchange going their way, but there goes 2 kills going the way of Glaciem Esports. It's a bloodbath right now. It's a bloodbath going the way of both teams. We've got both the Razor and the Void dying on one side, and then you have both the Slock and the Shadow Fiend going the other way. So even exchange once again. But the question is, who has easier access to Rosh? The thing is, they don't have the damage. Ventus doesn't have the, without Shadow Fiend and Slock, they don't have damage. They don't have enough damage to try and take Rosh. And you look at the respawns. Glaciem Esports has better. Oh, Grimes gonna lose his life. Grimes falls, and Zeke also catching a bit of the damage. But luckily for him, it's not the Aegis one, so he'll still be alive. Goodness. The plays coming out from Glaciem Esports now. They're showing signs of life from all corners of their lineup right now. I mean, they're taking, that was a 2-for-3 engagement essentially. And 2-for-3 going their way. They're delaying the game. The more they delay the game, soon enough we'll have Void with his Mjolnir. And once he gets the Mjolnir, it's going to be problematic. Because his Chronospheres right now are causing havoc. Because if a Chronosphere goes out, I think the only big problem that Butrox is dealing with right now is if his Chronosphere doesn't catch, if it doesn't catch the Bane, if it doesn't catch Flaming Sheep, then it's a problem, because you're definitely gonna have the Fiend's Grip being procced out onto him, and if he gets Fiend's Grip, then it's a big problem, because then he's not dealing damage and he's also wasted his Chronosphere. But they still look poised to try and defend this. I mean, they've lost. These towers have been down for quite a while. I'd even say almost 20 minutes, and only now they've secured themselves the bot racks. And that doesn't necessarily mean they've secured the game, because the game now is kind of pulling back. Oh, we've got the Moonlight Shadow. Gecko's in no man's land. Does he recognize the danger? There goes the Blink Skewer. Gecko's probably going to lose his life. He does proc the Eye of the Storm. He procs his mech. He props his Blade Mail. But there goes the Fiend's Grip. Gecko's definitely going to lose his life. And even a Dagon going out. Even the Dagon coming out from the Magnus. Ooh, that's certainly what he doesn't want. And he's down for 70 seconds. He doesn't have a buyback. They could go into the Roche Pit, and rightfully so. Chronos looking to go back into the Roche Pit. Definitely not what he would have wanted. Looks like Chronos is going solo mano a mano against Roche right now. And because he's going solo mano a mano with the Roche, they won't suspect that it's happening. So the question is, can they actually defend now? They've lost already a lane of racks, and it's being pushed to shit right now. It's being pushed to shit, and essentially means they have to worry about bot lane being pushed, and they have to try to make sure that they have to try to make sure that Ventus doesn't secure themselves a second lane of racks. So it's looking pretty dicey right now. It's looking pretty dicey. Had they not lost that lane of racks, I'd still say that they could defend. But now that they've lost the racks, it's looking pretty dicey. I mean, you can't count them out completely, but now that the Aegis is secured, Ventus has the upper hand going into this push. We got Homing Missile catching out Kronos. He may just lose his Aegis very soon. So he needs to be wary about him being the front lines. Let's see. We've actually got the RP up. We've got the Requiem up. Do we have the Fiend's Grip? The Fiend's Grip's going to be up in about a few seconds, and that essentially means they will want to commit to this push. And if they get this tower, this game is essentially not even the tower. If they get the racks, this game is essentially over. Right click pony is going to be key. Right click pony is going to be key. Kronos seems to be. He doesn't really care. He knows he has himself the ages. He's going to try to commit so much damage onto the melee racks. Right click pony he commits the fissure, and we've got the homing missile going their way. Ooh, slow siege in favor of Ventus Pro right now. But they've got the tier 3. That's one part of the prize. Now they need to secure the racks. If they can get the racks, we've got an arrow to fly, misses completely. There goes a two-man. We've got a two-man chronosphere. There goes your plasma field. Catches two. We've lost Grime. There goes the Fiend's Grip onto Gecko. Will it be enough? There goes the Echo Slam, catching 3. Zeke is about to lose his life to the Eye of the Storm. He falls. Chronosphere taking so much damage. Night Wraith may just fall. White Wookiee's probably gonna fall to Night Wraith, and he does. We've got the Enfeeble and the Nightmare going the way of the Void, and he loses his life. So now it's Rex, and this game is almost dead and done. Do they have buybacks? No, they have no buybacks going their side. They don't have any buybacks. This game is over. It's a 5-man wipe going the way of Ventus Pro. This game is done. There's not much they can do. Do they go for the jugular? Yes, they're going for the tier 4s. This game is done. They tried valiantly. They stalled the game for as much as they could. Considering how commanding of a lead Ventus Pro had. It's admirable that Glaciem Esports put up such a good fight, but well played from Glaciem Esports, and this game is done. Well played to Ventus Pro. Well done to Ventus Pro. Well done to Glaciem Esports for trying to hold out. Well done to Ventus Pro for making sure they close out the game. But yeah, what a great game. This turned out to be a great game. Not a stomp in any rights. Well played to both teams. But Ventus Pro just had their death ball going out very early. They secured so much of a lead that the lineup on Ventus Pro had a problem where they couldn't get to the late game, where their lineup is pretty strong. But eventually, once it got to a point where they had to defend their racks, they actually defended valiantly. I mean, 3 or 4 pushes went in where they got favorable exchanges over Ventus Pro. So Ventus Pro do take that game, but not necessarily in the most commanding fashion, because Glaciem Esports definitely held out. They delayed the game. The game could have easily been done in 25 minutes, but instead Glaciem Esports pulling out some brawn, pulling out some muscle, pulling out some brain power as well, trying to make sure that they don't lose this game very early. But nonetheless, well played from both teams, and Ventus Pro securing both games, taking it 2-0 in the best of 2, and that essentially means Ventus Pro have not lost a single game going out into Group D on the MSI Beatit tournament right now. So it essentially means they're gonna go into the brackets since they win the group, and now they'll be chilling right now. We've got 8 teams already been invited into the next phase, so it should be interesting how they progress into the further stages of the tournament. In any event, keep following MSI Beatit. Your host Saint D from EAE Gaming. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on EAE Gaming, at Twitter as well, same handle. Follow us on YouTube, we've got the same channel, EAE Gaming. I hope you guys had a good time. I certainly had a good time casting the game. Well played to both teams.